which means that selling consumer goods is officially better than selling electronics. Hello everybody, how are you guys all doing? Alright, today I want to show you guys, or make a tutorial about the factory update, or the new factory meta rather. Because, as all of you know, there's been a big update to Rise of Nations that fucks up all of the factories, all of the tradings, and it's really annoying, so I want to tell you guys how it's done. Alright, okay. Now that we've got our little factories, we're gonna test out how trading really works. So if we go over to the United States of America, and see that we have a consumer deficit of 287. So if I sell 287 units of consumer goods to the United States for 19 million, they were refused, right? But that's probably just out of their budget. Now this is not getting them out of a consumer deficit. I don't know if they have enough money for that. I'll just check real quick. Now I'm gonna make it so the United States pretty much has infinite money. I'm gonna go this. There we go. Now United States now has a couple dollars to its name. 66 million. And now I'll go over to Germany. And I will attempt to sell. Okay, United States. 287 consumer goods. And they accepted. They just need the money. They need the money. They need the money. And they need the, they need a deficit of consumer goods. So now I am selling a shitload of consumer goods to United States. Hold on, I'm just gonna go to the USA and make it so they don't break into a little billion, jillion, dillion bits. That would not be nice. Now, we're importing 287 electronics, from Germany to the United States, even though it's AI, well, when I sold it. And yeah, easy. Now, you cannot do this with Helix. Let's go over to another democratic superpower, India. So right here, we make 61. India, deficit of 0, right? They have 0 units, deficit of 0, but they also have 0. So pretty much they're in a debt, right? So I could sell them 5, right? So you can sell 5 as a minimum, as the maximum to every single country. I'll sometimes make 60. Let's say I wanted to sell them 60, right? So that's $5 million. They make $60 million. Surely they can afford this. Bonk. Refused. That's because they don't need them. They don't need Elix. AI countries only buy resources they need now. They can need it. They will only buy resources if they need it and they can afford it. Need and afford. Now it's a two-factor thing. So it used to be you could sell 10 Elix to Egypt because they could afford it, but of course they don't fucking need it. But now they need them and they need to afford them. Now we've got 87 oil. So now Russia is in an oil deficit of 20. They can afford, so we couldn't sell 6 units of oil to Brazil because they don't need it. They have 20. They have plus 20. However, Russia, I'm just using Russia as another example here. Since Russia is in an oil deficit of 20, and I can sell them 20, they will accept because they can afford it and they need it. They can afford the oil, and they need the oil. I just saw lots of people confused about how all this new factory stuff works, so I just wanted to clear it up. Countries have to be able to afford factories, afford the resources that they're being sold, and they have to be willing to buy, the resources that they're being sold. Because if they have no demand for the resources, then they won't buy them. So now it's real market supply and demand. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to see what is more worth it. Selling straight Elix like 5 at a time. Selling consumer goods. So making the 4 factories you need to make consumer goods. So we're gonna be buying every resource in 1 extra as surplus, so I don't run out if I ever lose trade. Always do that. That is a good tip. If you're gonna buy, like, say, if you make 3 elec factories and you need to buy 6 gold and 6 copper, buy 7 gold and 7 copper. So if your trade's cancelled, then you still have a little bit spare to keep your factories running while you scramble to buy more resources. Alright, so we've got our elec factory, right? So, expenses, 288,000. And we make 16 elecs. So we're gonna sell these off. 5. Okay, 5, 5, 5, because that's what we can do. And 1 extra because we make 16. So now, how many elecs? 0. So, from 1 electronic factory, it is $288,000 for expenses, and 1.3 million, 600,000 for trade. Sorry, 600 for trade. As you guys probably know, 1 consumer good makes 45 consumers. Wait, 1 consumer factory makes 45 consumer goods. So we're gonna be selling 45 to Brazil. Okay, 45. So the deficit, they can buy this, sell that. Good, good. So 860,000 to make the consumers, and 3 million to sell them. Right. Now, this also means it's pretty much double this, so you can get 6 million because the factories here that will make enough for enough to run 2 separate consumer factories. So you should be able to double this. So you can sell 90 consumer goods. So that will give you $6 million for a trade thing of 862,000, which means that selling consumer goods is officially better than selling electronics. I just made this video to make sure that people knew how to use consumers and elecs and just the new factory meta in general, because it's all been updated. So, one last reminder, you can only sell to people who are willing to buy your resources, so they have to either be in a deficit or they can have 0 and you can sell them 5 of what you're selling. Or, and they have to be able to afford it. You cannot ever, it's never been like this, you can never ever put a country into a deficit by selling them stuff. That's just not how that works. So, they will only buy stuff they need, and they will only buy stuff that they can afford. Now, I hope you guys all have fun with these new factory mechanics, and happy travels.